selamat malam Bapak Ibu semua yang sudah pernah hadir, yang belum pernah hadir di acara Leader
Selamat
Stock-nya. Iya, malam Bu Yovita. Aduh, kayaknya seru nih. Weh, Pak Lim masih nyetir juga. Oke, waduh, ada Mama Amel di jalan nih. Oke, teman-teman, sekali lagi selamat bergabung lagi di acara Leader Stock-nya. Saya sebenarnya kepingin tahu ya, siapa dari Anda yang sudah pernah hadir ya di Leader Stock ya? Boleh dikasih tanda reaction atau Anda boleh tulis ya pernah atau yes gitu di kolom chat. Jadi saya tahu ya kalau misalnya Anda sudah pernah hadir sebelumnya di sesi kita Leader Stock. Oh iya, Kak Sanjaya sudah pernah. Bapak Ibu yang lain ada yang Eli pernah, thank you. Ada yang lain lagi? Sering.
Saya
Iya.
sudah pernah.
Oh iya, Bu Yovita. Terima kasih. Semoga menyimak ya malam ini ya.
Iya nih
Oke.
OTW.
Oke. Oh, ada yang baru pertama kali Pak Jumpa, wah namanya Jumpa Utama, direct ke saya, belum pernah. Terima kasih, nggak apa-apa. Yang belum pernah hadir, kita bisa belajar sama-sama di sini ya. Atau yang lain lagi, Bapak Ibu? Oh, baru pertama. Sepertinya banyak yang baru pertama kali ya. Baru pertama kali gabung. Oke, nggak apa-apa Bapak Ibu, kalau Anda pertama kali gabung, perkenalkan, kenalan dulu kami dari Sinergia Konsultan ya, yang akan bersama-sama dengan Anda. Nanti kita akan belajar sama-sama di Leader Stock malam ini ya. So sekali lagi selamat bergabung buat Anda yang baru datang. Terima kasih buat teman-teman yang sudah beberapa kali datang. Saya berharap kali ini juga suasana yang berbeda karena sesi kita malam ini spesial banget. Kalau biasanya kita belajar dari teman-teman yang sudah mungkin namanya Anda kenal, tapi malam ini spesial ya. Saya nanti mengajak satu ini sahabat saya, ini keluarga saya dari Filipina. Nanti saya akan kenalin siapa dia. Tapi udah berapa ya? Saya mungkin 2-3 tahun kenal sama beliaunya ini dan seru banget belajar banyak, nggak cuma tentang leadership, tapi nanti pemateri kita juga akan sharing apa sih sebenarnya di balik leadership yang dia juga pelajari ya. Jadi sabar dulu sebentar. Nah, nama saya Amelia, Bapak Ibu, teman-teman, buat yang baru pertama kali ketemu gabung dengan acara Leader Stock-nya Sinergia, saya yang akan menjadi host Anda hari ini. Harapannya kita sama-sama belajar, bertransformasi bersama-sama. Dan nanti sepanjang saya mungkin menemani Anda untuk belajar, Anda boleh tetap tuliskan insight ataupun pertanyaan di kolom chat ya. Dan sedikit kenalan, kalau Bapak Ibu yang baru juga kenal dengan Sinergia Group gitu ya. Kami terdiri dari Sinergia Konsultan yang geraknya di bidang human capital. Kemudian kami juga ada brandnya Points of View yang kami bergerak di bidang coaching. Kalau Bapak Ibu yang tertarik mungkin di perusahaan ngurusin talent management gitu ya, kemudian juga bergerak sebagai career coach, kami juga punya satu channel namanya Nodal Karsot itu untuk career coaching. Dan selain itu, Bapak Ibu, kami juga punya unit bisnis konveksi namanya Where to Work. Sikli itu untuk anak-anak ya, usia dari SD sampai usia kuliah, dan juga Sinergia Life yang itu penerbitan. Jadi semoga Bapak Ibu cukup jadi kenal sama Sinergia Group di balik acara Leader Stock ini ya. Dan malam hari ini tentunya sebelum kita mulai sesi ya Bapak Ibu, saya mau mengajak Anda dulu 1 jam ke depan Anda cek koneksinya benar-benar. Semoga koneksinya lancar, ini ya cuacanya cerah jadi kita nggak terganggu sama jaringan yang naik turun. Atau juga Bapak Ibu bisa sampaikan ke orang rumah bahwa 1 jam ke depan jangan terlalu banyak yang mungkin browsing atau nonton YouTube atau apa sehingga koneksi Anda tidak terganggu. Sayang kalau waktunya hanya 1 jam, kita nggak bisa mendapatkan sesuatu yang optimal. Ya. Kemudian poin yang kedua, harapan saya Bapak Ibu, kita di sini leader semua. Itu sebabnya acara kita namanya Leader Talk. Anda tidak hanya pasif nanti mendengarkan, tapi saya juga berharap Anda secara aktif. Kalau Anda ada insight, Anda boleh ditulis di kolom chat. Kemudian juga misalnya Anda ada pertanyaan juga boleh. Karena siapa tahu kita bisa saling belajar dari insight yang Anda drop di kolom chat juga, ya. So, ketika ini active learning, saya juga berharap nih sekarang kita latihan dulu ya Bapak Ibu. Bapak Ibu karena tadi nampaknya banyak yang baru juga, baru bergabung di Leader Talk kali ini. Padahal saya lupa udah berapa kali ya, udah berapa batch. Bapak Ibu, saya mengundang Anda untuk latihan nih. Kita secara aktif Anda boleh memperkenalkan diri dan Anda dari kota mana. Jadi boleh profesi juga boleh ya. Mungkin company-nya atau Anda sebagai HR manager atau business leader seperti itu, dan ada di kota mana. Jadi kita saling kenal. Oh, terima kasih Mbak Putri dari Surabaya. Monggo Bapak Ibu yang lain. Saya kepingin tahu nih, Anda dari mana aja. Ada Margaret dari Surabaya juga. Ini Bapak Ibu yang lain, Bu Herlin, Banjarmasin, Maria Semarang, Hardianto Samarinda. Wih, Surabaya, Malang, Jakarta, dari Bali. Oh, Kak Fatma, ada teman dari Bali nih. Bekasi, Balikpapan. Oke, banyak banget ya. Wah, ini dari Bandar Lampung. Jadi ini kayaknya mewakili kota-kota dari ujung barat sampai ujung timur nih. Oh, ada Kak Dwiarko. Kayaknya kita teman lama nih. Iya, lama nggak jumpa. Terima kasih ya sudah hadir. Oke. Terima kasih Bapak Ibu. Anda boleh terus memperkenalkan diri di kolom chat ya. Gitu. Siapa tahu nanti connect bisa bisnis bareng tuh. Dan kemudian sambil kita kenalan di kolom chat, Bapak Ibu, Anda boleh siapin stasionaris Anda karena siapa tahu nanti ada hal yang perlu Anda catat sehingga Anda tidak terlewat ya. Dan ini sekali lagi mengingatkan Anda bisa chat untuk pertanyaan-pertanyaan. Nanti ada teman-teman dari Sinergia Konsultan, ada Mas Wisnu juga akan membantu Anda untuk collect pertanyaan-pertanyaan yang sudah di drop di sana. Ya. So, sekali lagi sebelum kita mulai, mari kita fokus. Jangan disambi browsing, jangan disambi chat, biar Anda dapat hasil yang optimal hanya 1 jam ke depan. Dan juga Anda boleh mute. Sekali lagi bukan karena kami nggak mau dengar suara Anda, tapi biar kita sama-sama belajar dengan optimal. Ya, nanti kalau ada waktu bertanya, kita akan undang Anda untuk buka suara. Dan nanti karena sesi kita ini bahasa Inggris ya Bapak Ibu ya, nanti mungkin kalau Anda mau saling support menerjemahkan di kolom chat juga boleh, saya juga akan bantu Anda. Tapi kalau nanti misalnya Anda mau bertanya, mau nanya dalam bahasa Inggris, boleh. Mau nanya dalam bahasa Indonesia, tenang aja, itu juga boleh. Ya, nanti saya akan bantu Anda. Dan seandainya Bapak Ibu ada di antara Anda yang mungkin merasa kualitas gambarnya itu nggak bagus, kemudian layarnya hitam semua, jangan khawatir, Anda boleh fokus pada suara yang masih bisa terdengar. Jangan khawatir kalau misalnya kameranya harus ditutup atau mungkin blok-blok hitam semua ya, yang penting suaranya masih terdengar. Tapi tentunya buat Anda yang koneksinya juga bagus, saya percaya banget, saya yakin banget Bapak Ibu, Anda akan bisa lebih fokus dan lebih dapatkan banyak hal dengan Anda mengikuti sesi ini dengan buka kamera ya, karena kita bisa belajar satu sama lain. Oke, itu hal teknis yang saya bisa sampaikan dulu. Kemudian saya juga sekarang ini mau kenalin Bapak Ibu ya. Nah ini si ganteng saya. Kalau saya bilang gini kan dia nggak mudeng ya, jadi saya bilang aja ini si ganteng saya, Coach Ganteng gitu. Coach Lipi ini teman lama saya. Beliau dia berasal dari Filipina, dia tinggal di Manila, Filipina. Dan kalau Bapak Ibu ada yang tahu ICF ya, Coach Lipi ini Professional Certified Coach atau PCC, itu dari International Coach Federation atau ICF. Ya, selain itu, Coach Lipi juga mendalami tentang Gallup Certified Strength Coach. Kalau Anda yang belum tahu, Gallup ini banyak digunakan di perusahaan-perusahaan besar di Indonesia juga untuk apa? Untuk coaching para leadernya, untuk tahu gitu ya strength-nya mereka apa aja, kekuatan mereka apa aja. Dan juga selain itu, Coach Lipi juga Certified Transformative Coach dari Coach Master Academy. Nah, Bapak Ibu, sebelum saya perkenalkan Coach Lipi, ada satu hal yang sebenarnya saya juga mau sampaikan pada Anda. Nanti kita akan punya beberapa bonus yang bisa Anda akses. Jadi pastikan Anda akan ada di sini sampai acaranya selesai ya. Nanti bonusnya boleh Anda download, itu ada kuesioner dan ada beberapa hal lain yang nanti saya akan sampaikan di akhir sesi. So Bapak Ibu, sekarang kita akan saya kepingin tahu dulu nih. Sebelum saya panggil Coach Lipi-nya, apakah Anda sudah siap untuk belajar? Kalau Anda sudah siap untuk belajar, boleh nggak saya dikasih reaction? Itu kalau di bar Anda ada reaction, wah ini kayaknya yang siap belajar baru sedikit nih. Baru berapa? Oh 13, 15, oke. Ada yang kasih jempol, wih 20 lebih. Saya mau nunggu sampai 30 sebenarnya. Oke. Wah, ini jalan terus udah 50-an lebih yang udah kasih reaction. Oke, so please welcome kita kasih tepuk tangan ya buat Coach Lipi. Come on brother, this is your stage.
No.
You know my bahasa, right?
Yeah, a little bit. Little bit. Bapak Ibu, selamat malam. Terima kasih.
Malam.
Selamat malam, selamat malam.
Yay.
Oh,
thank you, and thank you to Bumel and Synergia for inviting me to share. I am very passionate about this topic tonight.
Okay. Thank you, Lipi. But I think there is someone who wants to share her screen.
Yeah.
Kalau nggak salah ada Mbak Santi. Mbak Santi, iya saya harus stop dulu ya. Mungkin she's too excited and she wants to share something.
Yeah. If you want, we have time for question and answer. And you can. Yes, Ellie, mabuhay. And I will type in the chat. This is terima kasih in Philippines. Yeah, so everyone has a takeaway of a bit of Filipino.
So Lipi, today in our leaders talk, you see we have more than 100 people in the house. They are waiting for you to share anything you want to share, because I believe that you have something special for us tonight. And especially teman-teman, today is Lipi's wife's birthday. So we need to I really appreciate this is very special, because otherwise tonight he needs to go to birthday dinner, but he's here together with us to share with us. Jadi kita boleh kasih sekali lagi reaction dong ya. Kasih tepuk tangan gitu.
Oh, terima kasih Bapak Ibu. Thank you.
Okay.
That's because my wife loves you guys. Bumel, right? You're very good at convincing my wife. Okay. And I will share my screen. Okay. I am so yes. So I will be sharing in English. I am not that fluent in Bahasa yet. So if you have any questions, just put into chat if you don't understand, and Bumel and the rest of the Synergia team will help me translate. Okay. Thank you. So my topic for today, I'm very passionate about this. It is about leading the next generations. Because why? Let me share. Bottom line, what used to work in leading people before will not work anymore for the future. It is as simple as that. Okay. it doesn't mean that you cannot use something in the past. What I am sharing with you is that what people want, preferences, and how they react, how they look at the world, their attitudes are changing. So, who has children? Who has children here? Raise your hand.
Siapa yang punya anak? Yes. Oh, Pak Bastian, Mas Sanjaya.
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
Many people, right? And who are any of you leading young people? Anyone also have 20, 24, 25-year-olds and younger?
Millennials, huh?
Yeah.
Me.
So me, yes. So, Bumel, that's a good point. Actually, when you say the word millennials, I'm a millennial. I'm getting old. There is now the next generation that is now entering the workforce. The ones born 1996, 1998. So, we have 25, 24, up to 18-year-olds and younger who are now beginning to work. And they also have different preferences and attitudes compared to us. Okay? My sharing tonight will not be about which year born and which year generation. It is not about that. For me, the detail of what year are you born, what generation are you, that's not so important. What's more important is, for tonight, I will share with you what are the trends coming up for the younger generation. And what are some tips that me, and not just me and what my peers here in the Philippines works, but because I also get to talk with other people from other countries all over the world, I will share with you global. Okay? So you tell me if this applies for you in Indonesia. I will share with you globally what are the trends for leading the younger generation. So younger generation, the ones 35 years old and younger. Okay? And what are some tips that I've gathered from my friends all over the world that will help you lead the younger generation. Okay, sounds good? Everyone give me a reaction, a thumbs up if you want that for tonight. Okay, yeah, good. Okay. Because if you don't want that, the only thing I have is song and dance. Okay. Why is this so important? Because according to research, right, and Gallup is a research company, which is where I get some of the data here, managers account for 70% of the engagement of a person in the office. Meaning, a large contributor of whether someone is engaged and happy and all out and passionate at work comes from their immediate superior or their supervisor or their manager, their boss. Okay. Which is what I'm going to share, very important. Why? Because based on my experience and a lot of what I encounter, a lot of bosses and managers right now, they think that the way to manage the younger generation is the same way that they were managed before. Okay? If you had a very good boss, then you're lucky. You can just use that. But if you're trying to do what your boss did and you see that it's not working, it's because, again, okay, people are changing and their preferences and their attitudes are changing. Okay? So Bumel, just help me out. I'm not able to see the chat box. So if there's any question or anything, you can just stop me and then, let me know, okay? Okay, cool. Quick hits. Let's just get right into it. Okay, the younger generation, they prioritize purpose over money. And for those of you in our audience who are part of this younger generation, you know what I'm talking about. Now, my wife is here. She's raising her hand. Okay, I will use your example, Rita. I will use your example. My wife left a corporate job. Okay, she had a very good corporate job. Her boss loves her. I think her boss did your boss love me? Not as much as you, right? But she left the corporate world to join an international nonprofit to work in area that was hit by typhoon here in the Philippines. Because for her, purpose is more important than money. It does not mean that money is not important, people. This doesn't mean you pay the younger generation very little. just because it's about purpose. No, the money is also important because people need to live. Young people also have dreams, right? They need money to be able to fuel that. What I'm saying is, given equal pay, equal benefits, or close, people will prioritize which is closer to my purpose and how I want to live my life. Very important for the younger generation. If they don't see that in your company, if they do not connect, okay, very easily they will leave. As a manager, you have to be clear. You have to understand and try to find out what is your purpose. Okay, what is their purpose? And also, you have to know what is the purpose of your company. Otherwise, you will not be able to do this. Which brings me to point number 2. Okay? For the younger generation, it is important for them to feel pride. No? Feel pride where they work. What is there a translation, Bumel? What is pride in Bahasa?
Pride, bangga.
Yeah. So they have that feeling when they work for a company. They are not ashamed to say, I work for so-and-so, right? So I will say, I'm proud. I work for Sinergia. That's a great company. Let me tell you what I do. Versus, I work in HR, consulting. Let's not talk about where I work, you know. And this is important because the younger generation, they want to feel that what they're doing is very important. If they don't see what they're doing is important, very easily they will find something else and they will leave. Okay? That doesn't mean they will not stay, but it's possible that they might not be happy about it. Okay, so very important that you notice, okay, is your workplace, is your team, is your organization a team where people can be proud to say, I'm part of Bumel's team, right? I'm part of Sinergia. I work with these people. Are they proud? Are they happy? Are they not always happy? Sometimes a person can, you know, they're not happy because it's very challenging, but they feel proud that you know, I'm still part of this team. Very important. Okay. Which brings me to the point here. The younger generation is motivated by meaningful work. Yeah? Okay? Meaning they have to know what's the value of what they're doing. If they don't know what is the point, what is the value of what they're doing, then it is easy for them to tune out. It is easy for them to not be motivated. Yeah? Everybody knows what's in the picture. Yeah, can people put into chat? And Bumel, tell me what is in the picture. I don't know what you call that in Bahasa. What's that in the picture?
Teman-teman boleh teks di kolom chat apa yang Anda lihat di slide itu atau di foto itu. Silakan.
Yeah, what do you see in that? What is
apa
that?
yang Anda lihat? Puzzle.
Yeah, that's right. That's a puzzle. So if you imagine, if for the younger generation, they want to see what is the big picture of the puzzle. If I'm just making one piece, where does this piece fit in the big picture? If I don't see, I will not be motivated. Very hard for me to be motivated. As compared to previous generations, where you just tell them what to do and they will do it. Yeah, even if they don't see the big picture, they'll just do it. But for the younger generations, because we were growing up, we were told to always dream big. What do you want to be when you grow up? Let's help society. Let's contribute. Yeah. So we look for that when we go and look for work. So if we find meaning in what we do, then that will motivate us. Yes, Bumel.
Yes, this is a very interesting angle. So I just want to check with everyone here who is agree with this one. Yeah. Kalau milenial kita atau generasi yang lebih muda ini, mereka lebih suka apa? Mereka kepingin ngelihat big picture-nya. Mereka kepingin apa sih itu gitu. Kalau generasi sebelumnya, mungkin angkatan saya gitu ya. Pokoknya ini ya kerjain, mereka akan kerjain. Tapi sekarang mereka kepingin lihat itu semua. Apa sih? Nanti ke depannya kayak apa sih gitu. Yeah.
I'm millennial and I say yes.
Ya. Siapa nih? Siapa yang somehow agree? Yes.
Yes, agree.
Siapa lagi yang setuju? Kalau millennial, it's not only millennials,
yeah, no,
but
actually,
younger generation.
Yeah, older people can also, this is also important. But I'm saying is especially for the younger generation, this is more important. I meet a lot of Gen X and baby boomers, people who are already 50, 60-year-olds in their career. Sometimes this is not as important. As long as my boss tells me to do it, I just do it. So this is my tip. Why am I saying this? When I used to have a team full of young and millennials, whenever I tell them, Bumel, can you do this? They will always ask me this question. I will type into chat. They will always ask me this question. They ask me, why? Why am I doing this? Why am I doing this?
Because you they're looking me for... to do this.
Yeah, exactly. Because why do I need to do this? What is the point? Where do I fit in the big picture? So for everyone here, one tip. When your younger generation asks you why, it does not mean that they disrespect you. It does not mean that they're hard-headed. Oh, yeah, they're asking me why. Just do the job. Why? Why ask them? Because they want to connect with what you're asking them to do. If they understand why this is important, it is easier for them. Even if there is an obstacle, they will just find a way around it and do it. Because I understand the purpose. That's how younger generations think. I feel like I got slapped by this question. Yeah, Vicky, why? Why? You know this. Skip. Okay, so we'll talk about that a little later. AL is sharing sometimes they skip the process, focus and result equals millennial. And I'll share with you why. Why is that, right? There's a habit here. That's a good point. Okay, cool. Any other questions, Bumel, that we're seeing in chat?
Yes, guys asking about how to reduce the gap between generations. And what kind of situation do we need to create?
Okay, good. I will share that now.
Yeah.
I'll share that in the tips. Okay, but bottom line, how do you reduce the gap? Is to have conversations with them. Talk to them. And not just talk to them, meaning talk to them, what is the work? What do you need to do? What is your results? Talk to them how they are doing the work. Okay? For example, here, I share my tips, right? Talk to them about the vision and not just goals. So in our team, in our company, talk to them. What's the big picture? What are we trying to achieve as a company? What are we trying to achieve as a team? Talk to them. Talk to them about also, if you have company values, if that is defined in your company, what is expected of someone in your team? Right? What is expected of someone? And have a conversation about it, especially if you feel that the people are not living up to this. So for example, yes. For example, if someone is always late, or if someone is always crying whenever you ask them to do something, like my son over there, yeah. But when we're asked to do something, do we also cry and complain, right? So we also have to model and be an example, and talk about it. Sometimes people say, especially the older generation, this is how we do things in our company, just follow me. But sometimes that's not very clear. So it is helpful. Okay, one way to reduce the gap is to have conversations about how we're doing the work. Talk about the big picture. Okay, talk about how their tasks contribute to what the big goal is. Okay. So that's a very big tip here. So far, so good, everyone? Okay, so I have more tips here. Yeah, my wife is bringing out her birthday cake. Okay. Okay, we continue. Okay. So, I'm sure a lot of you know about this and you've seen this, right? The younger generation, they value development over achievement. What do I say with this? Sometimes it's not all about the end result. Right? They want opportunities to learn. They want opportunities to grow and to develop themselves. Okay? So, Bueli, why are millennials always just looking at the result and they skip the process? Because they don't see the opportunity to learn. Number one, they don't see the opportunity to learn. They don't see, okay, the value of going through the process and what I can learn from it. If they don't see the value, I'll just skip it and just do the result. Okay? The second reason why millennials and why the younger generation do that is, okay, and brace yourself. It's possible they've found a better way. That's reason number two, right? So reason number one, They don't see the value of the learning, so they just go for the achievement. They don't go through the process. They don't understand what you're trying to teach them. But it's also possible that they found a really shorter, they found an easier or a quicker way. If that way, okay, does not follow your policy, your values, then it is up to you as the leader to educate them and to teach them what is there to learn from the process. Again, going back to development. So far, so good. Okay? Very interesting point. Yeah. Meaning, bottom line, the younger generation has higher expectations from leaders. Because remember, right? Even in schools, people are taught about leadership. People are told stories about what a great leader is. And so they come to expect that from their leaders in the workplace. Okay? What's my point here? My point here is that as leaders, we cannot just lead our people the same way that we have been led before. Okay? We have to learn to listen and develop as well how we lead people. Because the younger generation, they have higher expectations from leaders. They expect more from us. Okay? And this is a very important point. Because if we feel they don't have higher expectations, they will leave us. Let's face it. I will tell you one truth. Because you did this when you were younger. Right? When you and your friends get together, you talk about your boss sometimes. What does your boss do? Oh, this happened to me. This is what my boss did. People will talk about you the same way you talked about your boss. And so people compare. And now more than ever, there are so many books about leadership. Right? You have this leaders talk every month. Every month, we talk about how to become better leaders. Right? And people know that and expect that. Okay. So what else? They are obsessed with authenticity. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Obsessed with authenticity. Meaning they want to know what is real. They don't want fake. Yeah. I don't know there in Indonesia, but in the Philippines, a lot of people use Instagram. Do you use Instagram? Yeah. People here, they have a hashtag that they like to use. I'll put it into chat. They like using no filter. Right? Meaning no special effects, no nothing. Come as you are, it is what it is. So what am I saying here? From their leaders, they want their leaders to be authentic. They want their leaders to be people. They want their leaders to be someone that they can relate to. Okay? I have a client. The client tells me, it's almost like they want me to become their parent, like their father or their mother. And my answer to them was, a little bit, yes. Because they want someone who will guide them. They want someone who can relate to them. They want someone who will support them authentically. Because this generation, they will smell fake a mile away. They know it. Yeah, and for the millennials in this room, you know it when someone's not being true to you. And for people who are older, you know it as well. We just lived with it back then in corporate. But now no more. The younger generation, they will find a way to leave a boss who is not being real with them, who is not being respectful to them. Okay. So what are my tips here? So as leaders, okay, again, to close the gap, have frequent conversations on growth and feedback. Okay? Here in the Philippines, we're slowly trying to shift companies from having their annual review, which is annual, once a year, right, little boy, to having their review, okay, maybe once every quarter or after a project, okay. I know of some people, because of how fast. Is there anyone here in the computer industry or in IT? Anyone here? Just raise your hand or put into chat. No, nobody? Okay. So here in the Philippines, I have a client who is in IT programming. Every week, their manager checks in with their people. This is how you did this week. Okay, for this sprint or for this programming, this is how we did. This is what you did good. This is what we can improve on. Let's do it next. So they want frequent conversations on growth and feedback. Okay? They don't want any more conversations that we talk December, but then I talk to you about something you did January or February. No more, right? If I'm doing something well, I want to hear it from you. If I'm doing something wrong, I want to hear it from you. Which is why the younger generation, they like talking to their boss frequently. Yeah, if you're a good boss and you're able to relate to them, you will notice these young people want your feedback. They want to check in. How am I doing? They want the feedback to be able to grow. Right? Be more of a coach than a boss. When I say coach, help bring out the best in the person and not just tell them what to do. Yeah? And connect with them as people, not just input. Treat them as people. Okay? They don't want to be treated like machines. You know, just do this, give me the work. Okay? Try asking them like, Rohan, how are you? What's happening to you? Okay, how are you feeling? Yeah, there. He wants to be with his mother already. So connect with them as people, okay, not as machines. Very important point. And don't force closeness. Okay, make an effort, but don't try to fake. You know, don't try to fake being cool or being someone like, you know, that can relate to them. Just be true to who you are and be open to listening and talking to them. Okay? They will appreciate it. They will appreciate it. You know? And I coach some young leaders, millennials and Gen Z, that actually they are happy to have friends and close to be with their boss, and their boss is 60 years old, 50 years old. They don't need them to be, you know, a close friend, but they're happy to be close with someone who is older than them because the boss is real, is able to relate. Yeah. Everybody good so far? Just give me a thumbs up if we can continue on to my third part of my sharing. Doing good so far? Okay. Thank you. Okay. So what's one big tip that I can share with you that can help engage the younger generation? It's to focus on strengths. When I say strengths, what is the natural talent of where these people are good at, rather than always looking at the weakness and what needs to be improved. Okay? So Don Clifton, he's a positive psychologist. Okay, he said that what will happen when we think about what is right about people, rather than always fixating, always worrying about what is wrong with them. And I want to share with you. So this is one tool that I use with a lot of teams, especially a lot of teams that are millennials and Gen Z. And they love this tool because this tool allows them to identify what their natural talents are, and then we can begin to talk and develop it. Okay? So some of you might know about this tool or this book. It's called the Clifton Strengths Finder. Yeah? Anyone? Just give me a show of hands or a reaction. Has anyone encountered this? Have you taken this test? Anyone see this? So yes, the Synergia team, I'm sure, because we did this for you 2 years ago, I think, yeah? Okay. So what this does is, it's based on 50 years of human strength study. The basic question is, what do people do to get to success? Okay? That is the basic question that this whole study is about. Okay? What do people do that gets them success? Yeah. And so what happens, it's an online assessment. So what happens is we take the assessment, and then the assessment shares what is your top talents, right? And then I lead a workshop or a session with them to unpack what does all these talents mean and how they can use it as a team. So each person gets a report, each person we go through a process to read and to understand this. And this is an example of what you'll get when you take the assessment, right? And for those of you who lead teams, we also use this for team building. This is an example of a team, one of my clients, where we put together all of the different talents and then we talk about it. It becomes a coaching moment for the team. Okay? And why am I sharing this? And why do I love sharing this tool? I'm very passionate about it. Is because what I find works with the younger generation is to create a strengths-based culture. Meaning, when we support each other, when we talk about, when we talk about how we're doing the work, we focus on what we're good at. And we don't fixate on what's the problem. We address the problem. Let's solve the problem, but let's solve it using what we're good at and what's natural for us. Okay? So what else? Why is this very important? Because not everyone has the same talent and strength. All of us are unique. All of us have our own unique talents and strengths. So what else is very important for the younger generation? That we embrace and value diversity. So more than ever, when they took a study and research, the younger generation says, whenever they work in a workplace, okay, they want to work where they feel they will be accepted for who they are naturally. They don't have to be someone who they're not. They don't have to fake it. Okay? That they will be accepted no matter how different they are from the other people. This is very important. This is a big topic, especially in the clients and the teams that I get to talk to who are based in the US and Europe. Very important. Okay. Here in Asia, this is also important. It's not as loud, but people still say when I work for a company, I want to feel that I'm being accepted. Yeah. Why? Because globally, this generation, the younger generation, is facing a lot of issues that came out when they were young. We talk about racial equality. We talk about Black Lives Matter in the US. That's one example here. We talked about environment, climate change, and how that is affecting future generations, right? How people are saying 50, 70, 100 years from now, what will the world look like? Okay. Now, especially with the lockdown and the pandemic, the topic being talked about is mental health. No? Here in the Philippines, this was not taken seriously. Okay, if I had a mental health issue, a lot of the people would just tell me I'm crazy and would not give it the respect, and that makes me feel sad. But now, more than ever, people are talking about this. It is now very important. Okay? And then also health, personal health is becoming a real topic that a lot of the young generations face. Okay? Which means, and for those of you who are millennials and Gen Z, tell me if you agree with me. According to data and research, I did not make this up, okay, that the millennials and the Generation Z right now, they are the most stressed generation. Let that sink in for a moment. Yeah. Let me compare. Why is this? Okay, for those who are 60 to maybe around 40, 45 years old, when you were young, when you were growing up, yes, there were problems. Yes, there were issues. But more or less, there was not a lot of worry about the future. Yeah? Because at the time, economies were growing. Okay? People in the world generally had a very positive outlook on the future will be bright. Okay, we will figure this out. And then as the Generation Z and the millennials were growing up when we were young, what happened? Asian financial crisis, 1996, 9/11, Twin Towers, terrorist attack, right? And then there was a 2008 market crash again. So we are the generation that had to grow up, okay? As we were entering work, okay, we were entering work at a point where even here in Asia, the economy was at its lowest point. Or globally, the economy was at its lowest point. We have survived through 2 financial crises plus a pandemic in our young adulthood, which is again another market crash. I talked to some Gen Zers, the younger ones, 18 to 25 years old. They're not very hopeful about the future. They tell me, I'm not sure what's going to be my future like because we're destroying the world. There's so much, it's so hard to get a job. When I was young, financial crisis. When I was in college, financial crisis. Now I'm working again. We had a pandemic. It's so hard. They are so stressed about what is going to happen in the future. This is why the data shows that possibly growing up, and it affects how they think about their world right now. They are most stressed generation because they didn't have a hopeful outlook when they were growing up. This is, of course, this is generalization. If you're a millennial here, Gen Z, you have a very hopeful outlook. I'm so happy for you. Keep it up. Yeah. So as leaders, okay, and that's a big trend. What can we do to help them? Create an environment of psychological safety. What is psychological safety? And Bumel, this is another topic that you can actually invite someone to talk about in your leaders talk, a little bit more in depth. Bottom line, psychological safety is when I'm working with all of you, okay, I feel that I am accepted And I feel that if I share my real opinion, none of you will take it against me or will think I'm a bad person. It's just my opinion. Yeah. So we're able to share what I think, okay, and still support each other. That is psychological safety. Respect and value diversity. We don't force people to become someone who they are not. We accept who people are and okay, we help develop their strengths. Okay, so we capitalize on strengths and develop them through the tasks, through the conversations. Okay, and we help them understand. So this is where it becomes like we're a parent or we're a coach. We help them understand what's motivating them, what's their purpose. So here's the funny thing. I tell you that a lot of the young generations are motivated by purpose. Surprise, surprise, when they're young, it's not so clear for them. What will really help them, okay, and what will help you close the gap is if you begin to have conversations about, so what is your purpose? Why are you working in this company? What's the value for you to be here? I ask these questions to these people. Yeah, what's the value for you? My son wants to be a speaker as well, keeps talking to me. And you know, these trends that I share will only become stronger and stronger as time goes by. My son is 1 year old. Indonesia will forever be memorable for me because me and my wife took a vacation in Bali. That's where our son was made. 18 years from now, I can't imagine what the next generations will be like. But what is clear for me is now people want to be more of who they are, and it's important for them to have a clear sense of purpose. Yeah. So that when you work with your people, you're not trying to work with people trying to untangle this knot. Why are millennials like this? Why are they so hard to lead? No? But rather show them the big picture and allow them to be themselves, and they will surprise you. Right? What is true about the younger generation, in my view, they are so passionate. They are so driven. It's just a matter of alignment and allowing them to bring out that passion. Yeah. So that's my sharing. Very passionate. I just share with you quickly what are the global trends and what are some tips, yeah, that you can do to close the gap and help lead the next generation. And I think we have a little bit of time, Bumel, that we can take, questions and any comments that we have from the group. Thank you, everyone. Terima kasih.
Okay.
I forgot. This is my website. This is my email.
Yeah.
Okay. If anyone of you wants to email me to ask a question, please feel free. Here, my one request is you just tell me in the email, okay, where we met, and so I remember what we talked about. So just feel free to email. I'll put my email into chat as well.
Yes. Great. Thank you. So teman-teman, boleh kasih virtual applause dulu lah ya. Kasih reaction juga boleh. Thank you. Okay. Okay. What do I need to say? Okay, teman-teman boleh drop pertanyaan di kolom chat atau yang mau open mic juga boleh. Anyway, waiting for your question. I would like to underline some of the points from your talk today. The first one is about the values. So I think it's not only for millennials, but for us, any generation, especially for the leaders, I agree that we really need to talk about the value first before we talk about technical things. That is the first one about the values. And the second one is about the strengths. Yang kedua soal kekuatan, soal nggak ngeributin kelemahan atau kesalahan, tapi focus on strengths. That's what you say, right?
Yes.
Focus on the strengths. Because some people here, they still don't know about the strength. Maybe next time we can have a sharing session about the strength finder.
Yeah, we can. And for those, right, thinking about, right, even if you don't have the assessment, strengths is, so what are your people good at? If you watch your people, do you sometimes watch your people when they work? You should. I suggest you watch them. When you watch these people, what are they good at? What are they quick to do? What is natural for them? That's the talent. That's strength. even without the assessment will make it easier for you to talk about it. But even without the assessment, that's my tip. That's a tip here, Bumel, that watch your people. And then talk to them. Talk to them about it. I notice you're very good with numbers. I notice you're very focused. I notice you love talking to other people. Watch your people at what they do well. Very, very big thing.
Right. I think Margaret also have this kind of experience, because one of her staffs, actually at that time, we asked her, this young lady, I think Putri is here.
Hello, hi Putri.
Yeah, Putri is here, because in the beginning she's responsible in managing our stocks. Yeah, but almost every day they are fighting between the leader and the team because of missed stocks and a lot of mistakes during the job. But finally, we realized that Putri is very talented to persuade others, to speak with people, to sell. She's graduated from senior high school, 19 years old, but she's able to sell almost about $1,500 workshop for 2 days.
Wow.
Did it.
Nice.
So this is about the strength. Ini kekuatan Bapak Ibu. Jadi kayak apa ya? Kadang kita ngotot banget ngajarin orang, tapi kita malah nggak tahu kekuatannya dia, kompetensinya dia yang bagus apa. Yeah.
So
first about the value.
Very good example. Yeah, and then second is the strength. Yes.
Yes, right. And also one more thing about, I've just realized what you shared to us about every single events, like it's a difficult time, like economical crisis and then pandemic. That it is what it is.
Yeah.
What you do.
So what am I saying here? It's not anyone's fault. We are just recognizing that what happens to us in our life affects, how we grow up and how we look at the world. It is, that is just I talked to my dad. So my father, born 56, grew up in the 60s and 70s. He has such a positive outlook on the world because when he was growing up, there was nothing but growth and sex, drugs, and rock and roll here in the Philippines. That was what he did. So now he has a hard time adjusting to how come when he talks to younger people, because he also leads a team, the people are not very hopeful about the future. They think it's so hard, it's so difficult.
And that is our opportunity as a leader.
Correct. Very good. Yes.
So teman-teman, ada yang mau bertanya kah? Anyone wants to ask something, wants to discuss?
There's so many good questions. Okay, there are two
Mr.
questions here.
Agus, open mic. Mr. Agus.
Oh iya.
Okay, ya.
Pak Agus Sumarsono, mau tanya kah? Iya Pak. Oh belum Mas Wisnu.
Okay. So we'll go through the questions in chat.
Yeah. There is a question from Coach Dwiarko. He's a coach.
Okay.
What makes a millennial what makes millennial can pride to the corporate? What makes them pride?
The same thing that would make you proud to work for the company, right? And this is a question that is unique to each company. So if I ask you, for example, Bumel, I will put you on the spot here. What makes you proud to work for Synergia? Give me one only.
My team.
Okay, yeah. So that can be one thing. I feel proud to work here because I have a very good team. Because my team works very well. I have a good boss. Or because I feel that I see that my company is doing something very well. So we have, I love this. I'll give an example. One of my clients here makes chips, chips. Okay? So I am coaching someone there, and he says, "What's the value of the chips? It's here in the Philippines they call it like junk food. You know, it's chips." But he says, "No, the value of what I do is when I work, when I see the children buying the chips, it makes them so happy. I'm bringing happiness. So I have to do my work. So all these kids out there for 1 peso, very very cheap, will buy a little bit of chip and they will be happy." So that's an example that they feel pride. And so I'll ask you the question, as a leader, it has to be clear for you why you are proud to work in your company. Because if you know why you're proud, then easier to teach that to others.
Yes. Yeah. I want to invite Dwi Arko to speak up.
Okay. Pa.
Ya, Pak. What makes you pride to your company?
Pakai bahasa Indonesia aja ya, tolong.
Ya. Okay. He can understand bahasa.
Okay.
Little.
Jadi yang membuat saya bangga terhadap perusahaan saya karena ada satu visi yang mungkin punya persamaan dengan visi personal saya. Jadi di situ kebanggaan saya sehingga saya ngeklik untuk join di perusahaan itu.
Oke. Wow, menarik. Thank you. The same vision between personal vision and the corporate vision. That makes him pride.
Okay, good. So this is a perfect example of how my personal vision connects with company. So if it's the same for you, Pat Dwi Arko, very lucky. You're very lucky to have that. If it is not exactly the same, if I were leading Pat Dwi Arko, I would ask him, so if this is your vision for yourself, right? How does that connect to the company? When you work for this company, how is it helping you fulfill and achieve your personal vision? Yeah, so it doesn't have to be exact, but if they see there is a strong or good connection, then it's easier for them to feel pride and to connect. Yeah. Okay, I have other questions here that I like to answer if it's okay in chat. I love this. So there are millennials. What should they do if they force their opinion because they think they know everything and they just found it on the internet? Which is different from business or company culture. Okay. It is not just about adjusting to the millennials. Okay? As the older generation, as the leaders, it is also our task to help educate them. Educate, meaning we have to teach them what it's like to work in a company. Okay? So if they're forcing their opinion, okay, and I don't know, of course, there are a lot of different details in this. There are different assumptions here. But what I want to share is, why not get into a conversation first, okay, to talk about where they're coming from. And you know what, when I was a leader, if the cost is not very high, if the cost or the consequence of what they want to try is not very high, I let them try it. And if they make a mistake, they learn. But if it's very high, if it has high cost, we talk about it. Because I tell them, if we make a mistake, we lose 20 million pesos of our budget here. I don't know what's that in rupees. Are you willing to take that risk if you were the boss? So we also have to teach them. We have to educate them. Why? And this is a good point. There's also another question here. Is it true that millennials prefer to become entrepreneurs than workers? Bottom line answer, yes. Yes. Why? Because we have parents. We have you. You are the parents. You are the parents teaching children how to sell and how to become entrepreneurs and to start your own business. Of course they will be. But it does not mean that they can be entrepreneurs inside the company. When I say entrepreneurs, problem solving, innovation. I can find something new to do and to solve and to help people inside the companies. I feel that millennials are now overconfident and they think that they know all, but it's not. How to make them wake up? Sometimes it's really, they have to experience it. Meaning, again, we have to guide and educate them. Okay, and sometimes let them try it out. Okay, let them try it out. If you can, okay, if you can let them make the mistake, why not? But for me, okay, keep talking to them. Have conversations about them. Because I'm imagining what's happening here is you're saying what you feel is right, but then the millennial is saying what they feel is right, and then that's it. End of story. Because as the boss, just follow me. That's no longer going to work for this younger generation. They want to talk about it. Okay? Because even if you don't agree 100%, at least you are understanding what they're seeing and where they are coming from, because that will help you lead them. Now you know, this is how they think about it. They're not understanding the process. They want to learn about this. So I would talk to my younger generation, to my millennials and my team about it. Right? That's one example of authenticity. Authenticity is, if you don't know, then you can share with them. I don't know, let's find out. You don't need to be fake, while still keeping professional. What's one tip to be authentic? Alam mo, see, I'm so comfortable already. I'm speaking Filipino. Say what you mean. If you think it's a good job, then tell them it's a good job. If you don't think it's a good job, then tell them, thank you. I want to talk about how we can improve. Yeah? Come from the heart. And I feel that will be helpful to become authentic. Okay. So any other, some of the questions are in Bahasa, Bumel. I cannot, sorry, cannot yet understand.
Yeah. This one. How to make our millennials being pride to work. But our company still have like old culture.
Yeah. Okay. If you cannot expect the company to change or to change right away, you start with your team. Okay? So if you really want to engage your younger generation and you're their leader, then have conversations about them. Yeah? Talk about your team vision. Talk about the value of what you're doing as a team. If you find that the company does not have, or it is unclear, at least for you as the leader, you'll get clear what you're doing as a team, and that's a very big help already. That's a step towards engaging the younger generation so that they feel pride. Talk to them about what they're doing well also. So what they say, focus on strengths. Okay, we acknowledge what they're doing well, and not just because sometimes we only look at what's wrong, but if they're doing well, we don't talk to them. Tell them they're doing well if they're really doing well.
I want to add something about this question, about the quote-unquote old culture. Sometimes when we thought about the changes during this industrial world, actually we don't really need to change everything. Not everything, because we can learn from the wisdom from the founder, for example. We don't really need to change everything, the values, the cultures, but the simple thing that we need to do is the way we communicate with others. Like, for example, when we talk about integrity, when we talk about a family in the company, because Indonesia have so many family business here. I don't feel we need to change everything. Maybe we just need to change 5 or 10% the way we work, the way we communicate, and everything will flowing. Yeah.
I agree.
Everyone will adjust, right?
And Bastian, I think, shared the most important thing company leaders must be able to do to make millennials work well is coaching ability. If you think about it, it's how we communicate, right? It's a small change, but it has big impact. I totally agree with you. And that's something we can all start with ourselves first.
Yeah. Thank you, Pak Bastian.
Here's a good question. Okay, this I want to share with everyone. Very important. What is the millennials' weaknesses? Millennials or Gen Z that other generations should understand and anticipate? If I were to sum up in one word, it would be impatience. That's in English. I'm not sure what's that in Bahasa. Yeah, impatience.
Kasabaran.
Yeah, because they want everything. I want everything instant. When I grew up, there was computer, there was TV. I just click a button, I get what I want. Correct? So growing up, I had that. So we need to be aware of that there is a tendency to be impatient, and it's helping them to cultivate, to grow, being patient, to trust the process, to try to learn first and understand other people as well. So this is where, as leaders, we help educate and teach our younger generation. Because it is, here in the Philippines, a lot of, help me translate this movement. Here in the Philippines, when it's always old versus young, the question I get from my managers is, so who has to adjust? Yeah? And I tell them that's a trap. Wrong question. The question should be, how do we both adjust? Everyone get that? Yeah, millennials need senior to be their brake, to control. Yeah, it's us. We have to teach them. You have to teach them, no? Because they're so used to cell phone. They grow up with cell phone. I click one button, I get it, right? But some of us here, we grew up having to write a letter and then put a stamp and then mail, and then after 2 weeks you get the letter. They don't have that anymore. Email is instant. Correct, Bubianti. It takes 2 to tango. All right. Any other questions? Any comments? This is. I'm so happy. I'm very passionate about this topic. Why am I passionate about this topic? Because to be honest, I had many bosses who were not so good. And so I want to teach people, how do we become better leaders? Because the people are changing.
No. Maybe we need to make a workshop with the title, How to Coach Your Boss.
Yes, I agree.
How to lead your boss.
How to lead your boss.
Yeah, yes. Because Lippy, sometimes as a leader, it's a kind of expectation for me as well. Because I'm not perfect, of course, I need someone to give me a feedback. And it happens in my team. Yeah.
Yes.
Even in the last point, I can say I'm the boss. Okay. Yeah. Okay, teman-teman. So thank you, Lippy. See, we over 8 minutes from now, but I think everyone here are happy during this conversation. Then thank you very much about your sharing and the time, and of course with Victa and Rohan in the background. So today is very special day.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I hope next time we can meet again in the with other topics or workshop with maybe longer time. If you can come to Indonesia, we can make other workshop again. Yeah.
Yes, when we can fly, if we can fly again, we will be so happy. Go back
to Sure. Oke, teman-teman yang ada di sini, sebelum saya bagiin beberapa bonus nih, kita boleh kasih tepuk tangan dulu. Give Lippy big applause. Ada boleh kasih reaction. Terima kasih semuanya.
Makasih.
Dan teman-teman sambil Anda boleh ini juga ya, boleh drop pertanyaan-pertanyaan lagi di kolom chat. Jadi seandainya tidak terjawab di malam hari ini, kita akan jawab melalui Instagram nanti ya. Dan saya akan bagikan beberapa informasi lagi tentang hal yang kita ada beberapa bonus di sini, teman-teman. Ya, Anda bisa download nanti Mas Wisnu atau teman-teman dari Sinergia akan berikan linknya. Nah, ini adalah salah satu tools yang kami buat, 19 Guidelines to Build Your Leaders Charisma. Di dalamnya sebenarnya ada kuesioner Bapak Ibu yang Anda bisa dapatkan, Anda bisa kerjain. Dan salah satunya kalau tadi kita bicara soal strength, siapa tahu nanti Anda menemukan satu potensi Anda yang tidak pernah Anda sadari sebelumnya. Ya, jadi tes ini free, Anda boleh gunakan, dan bahkan di beberapa klien kami kita juga gunakan itu untuk melakukan assessment pada para leadernya. Jadi buat Anda yang membutuhkan, Anda ingin tahu, Anda bisa download sekarang, linknya akan diberikan di kolom chat ya. Nah, selain itu apalagi teman-teman, sebenarnya kalau kita ngomongin leadership, pastinya tadi kalau kita juga belajar bahwa yuk kita belajar nggak cuman kita aja, tapi mungkin calon-calon leader Anda juga perlu belajar, Bapak Ibu. Kita sebenarnya punya satu online workshop juga yang nanti Anda bisa cek di YouTube Sinergia Channel. Ya, ini apa kata mereka tentang workshop kami yang judulnya Be Dare to Lead. Ini workshop ini saya lupa udah berapa batch ya. Saya kalau nggak salah mungkin sekitar ada 8 atau 10 batch yang selalu full. Dan kemudian juga ada beberapa corporate yang juga mengundang kami untuk melakukan workshop ini. Anda bisa cek di YouTube channelnya Sinergia, linknya juga akan ada di kolom chat. Ya. Selain itu, nah ini beberapa dokumentasinya yang kami lakukan, walaupun ini online, tapi teman-teman tetap aja mendapatkan manfaatnya. Dan thank you di sini yang sudah pernah ikut Be Dare to Lead. Kayaknya ada beberapa yang kita udah tergabung di grup Telegram Be Dare to Lead ya. Semoga malam ini juga menjadi pengingat lagi, refreshment buat Anda dari apa yang pernah kita bicarakan di dalam workshop dan semakin terteguhkan ya dalam perjalanan Anda menjadi leader ya. Dan pastinya ini yang bonus satu lagi teman-teman, kita ada gift voucher buat Anda sebesar 100.000. Ini kalau Anda mau mengirimkan tim Anda ataupun Anda mau bergabung di workshop Be Dare to Lead, kita ada early bird sampai tanggal 3 Juni 2021. Workshopnya akan ada setiap bulan, jadi langsung aja Anda boleh kontak dengan teman-teman di Sinergia Konsultan di sinergiakonsultan.com/kontak kami, atau kalau Anda kepingin tahu apa sih workshop Be Dare to Lead itu, Anda bisa langsung klik sinergiakonsultan.com/WS Dare to Lead. Ya. Nah, ini beberapa informasi yang kami bisa sampaikan, teman-teman. Jadi, kalau Anda mau cek ini gift voucher-nya seperti apa, Anda boleh kontak dengan teman-teman CS di Sinergia Konsultan dulu. Ya. Dan selain itu, thank you banget teman-teman sudah hadir malam ini sekali lagi. Atas semua pertanyaannya, antusiasmenya. Kita akan ada leader stock setiap bulan. Bulan depan tentunya kita akan ada lagi leader stock dengan narasumber, dengan pokoknya kita akan undang ya leader-leader yang menarik yang kita bisa belajar, untuk kita bisa belajar bersama. Anda bisa datang lagi ya. Anda bisa hadir lagi dan dapatkan informasinya baik di Facebook-nya Sinergia Konsultan, di Instagram-nya, ataupun kalau Anda terkoneksi dengan CS kami, Anda juga boleh tanya informasinya seperti apa. Kami juga akan berikan informasinya untuk Anda. Ya. Jadi sekali lagi, teman-teman, terima kasih atas waktunya malam ini, dan buat yang masih puasa, semoga puasanya lancar. Kita udah deket-deketan sama Lebaran. Semoga semuanya aman lancar. Dan teman-teman tetap sehat. Terima kasih sekali lagi. Sampai ketemu. Lipi, thank you so much for your time for us tonight. So I hope we can meet soon, online, face-to-face. Of course, I want to meet you face-to-face.
Thank you Bu Mel. Thank you everyone. Terima kasih.
Send our regards to...
Thank you, Coach Lipi. Thank you, Bu Mel.
Yes.
Ya, terima kasih teman-teman.
Thank you, Bu Mel. Thank you, Coach Lipi.
Lagu Happy Birthday buat kita.
Happy birthday. Wah.
This one.
So my wife, it's my wife's birthday.